You know me, I love polls about how much people hate Congress. Okay. Now, look, there's a lot of polls, and now NBC, Wall Street Journal did one, and they went through all the different branches of government. They asked about President Obama's approval ratings, and it's down to 45%. Now, compared to Congress, that's awesome. But it was 48% last month. It is dropping, so it is a point of concern for the president. But when you go to Congress, ooh, we got much more than a point of concern. Highest disapproval ever in the NBC Wall Street Journal poll. 83% of Americans disapprove of Congress. 83% in a democracy disapprove of our representatives. And of course, that's because there are so-called representatives. The reality is they represent their donors. And again, every time we do these stories, I look at how we do it. I look at how the mainstream media does it. The establishment media is like, oh, silly American people. Come on. Why? They must be misunderstanding the process. No, they understand the process just fine. Or they turn around and they say, oh, yeah, it's because of gridlock, and if we had more bipartisan agreement to cut Social Security and Medicare and to lower taxes on the rich, then the American people would be in favor of Congress. No, they'd hate Congress even more. Okay, the reality is people disapprove of Congress because they realize they're not their representatives. And then finally, the third thing that the mainstream media does every single time these polls come out to defend them is, yeah, but come on, they don't like Congress in general, but when it comes to their own representatives, they like them. They'll just keep voting the way we tell them to vote. So don't worry about how much the American people can't stand Congress. Well, that's interesting because this time around they asked the question, how about removing every single member of Congress? Now, that's extreme. That's crazy. What did I get? 17%? 27%? 57% would replace every single member of Congress if they could. 57%. There's a reason why they don't like you, Congress, because you don't work for them. If they actually thought you worked for them, they might say, oh, no, that's my guy. That's my representative. But they know that's not how it works. You got to go to wolf-pac.com, man. The only way to fix this is to get the money out of politics. Because until then, they're never going to represent you. Just believe me that it is not hopeless. That there was a golden era in this country where our representatives actually did represent us. And we got wonderful policies. We had no banking crashes, no major banking crashes at all for 50 years. About 1933 to 1983, 50 years of no banking crashes, because it worked because they represented us and not the bankers. We can do that again. The key is that you got to get the congressman to stop saying, how am I going to get elected? Oh, I got to get money. I got to get money. Donors, big donors, where are you? Please, please give me the money. The guy who has more money wins 95% of the time. So of course they're going to run after the money, and of course they're going to represent the moneyed interests. wolf-pac.com. It's as simple as 5 seconds. Go there, at the least sign the petition. But you know, if you want to be a volunteer and you want to be a gladiator for us and help in this battle, all we need is 20 for every state, man. And if you don't have time and you got a little bit of money that you could just be a contributing member, $10 a month, God bless your heart, man. That's less than a coffee a day, and it makes a giant difference. And one last thing. I went to the museum in Washington last time I was in Washington, and they had a great exhibit on suffragist movement. So when women try to get the vote, think about how impossible that was. How do you get the right to vote if you can't vote in the first place? And when they were first out in the streets, they literally got spit on. They got pushed around by the men, which was a very classy move, right? And they were derided. They said, look at these women. They think they're equal to men. They should have a vote. Get out of here. Get. And they said, it's impossible. 7 years. It only took 7 years from that first protest in the street to passing an amendment saying that women have the same right to vote as men. It's definitely possible. Until then, we're going to continue to despise Congress because they're not our representatives. wolf-pac.com. Go.